The title of this documentary is called Klondike Gold, Canadian Frontier, and was created by Oz Koci. This documentary will cover how the Klondike Gold was started and its effects on the region and the gold rush legacy. Once gold was discovered in the Yukon frontier of Canada, this led to the rapid development of towns, resulting in both negative and positive impacts on its land and people. On August 16, 1896, Native Americans in the Yukon area found gold in Rabbit Creek, which is near the town of Dawson, Yukon Territory, Canada. Once the word of the gold got out, people started claiming areas to find gold. These people became known as the Klondike Kings and became very wealthy. 6 months after the discovery of gold, about 100,000 gold miners came to get gold from the Yukon. People started talking all about the gold. This caused many more miners to rush to find gold for a chance to be rich quickly. The Klondike Gold Rush ended in 1899 when gold was found in Nome, Alaska. On July 17, 1897, a steamboat called Portland arrived in Seattle with more than a ton of gold. Though gold was literally found all over the place, and because of this, the Klondike Kings were each able to claim about 10,000 feet squared of gold-filled land. By the time the gold rush ended, $29 million of gold had been extracted. When the gold wasn't as close to the surface, the people built gold dredges to get the gold that was farther into the ground. The most gold was found in Skookum Jim Mason and Tagish Charlie and Rabbit Creek, Yukon Territory. Almost all the gold was found in the Yukon region of Canada. There are many men in Dawson at the present time who feel keenly disappointed. They have come thousands of miles on a perilous trip, risked life, health and property, spent months of the most arduous labor a man can perform, and at length expectation raised to the highest pitch have reached the coveted goal only to discover the fact there is nothing here for them. This is an article from the Klondike Nugget in June 1898. The Klondike Gold Rush had a big impact on the towns and villages in the late 1800s. Once the gold rush started, many people went to the Yukon to get gold. With all the people, the towns were growing bigger so they could house all the people. A conman called Jefferson Soapy Smith took over the town Skagway and set up his operations in a casino called Jeff's Place. He stole gold and set up scams until he was shot in a gunfight. One of his scams was a telegraph trick, which was set up by putting up fake poles and wires, which helped him steal money from people who wanted to wire home. Towns later got police officers to protect the town from any crime happening. The towns of the natives started to lose big animals like moose and caribou because how many people entered the area and hunted them. Miners that stopped in the Native Americans' town with disease such as smallpox and polluted the water, which had very big salmon in it. The rivers were polluted by dead horses, human waste, and trash. In 1899, when the Klondike Gold Rush ended, only 30,000 gold seekers completed the trip. The trails to the gold were long, cold, and difficult. There were many outlaws who caused trouble and made the trails very dangerous to travel on. Many people died of malnutrition and from eating dead horses off the trail. The trails had avalanches, and the temperature could go from negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit through negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the more dangerous trails was the Chilkoot Trail. This trail had fewer outlaws, but is very steep compared to other trails. 7 men were also reported to have gone insane on the trail. In this upcoming video, a historian will talk about the Klondike Gold Rush and about gold.
No gold rush in history could match the Klondike Rush of 1896 to 1899. In the almost insane drive of people to conquer distance and weather conditions to reach the rich deposits of placer gold in the frozen barren area of the Klondike River. This is their story. Gold, element number 79 on the chemist's periodic table, Gold is a heavy, malleable metal that can be found in its free state either as dust or nuggets, or embedded in quartz lodes. Gold is a remarkable quality mineral, but its most remarkable quality is what it does to people. For thousands of years in cultures around the world, gold has been coveted, valued, and cherished.
The Klondike Gold Rush is an important part of 1896 because it rapidly advanced the development of the Yukon Territory. The gold rush helped develop the area for causes that were good and bad. If the Klondike Gold Rush never happened, the development of the Yukon area would have been much slower. If the gold rush never happened, the Native Americans' land would not have been destroyed by miners. The gold rush also had made Americans richer than they were before. The Klondike Gold Rush was such a big event that it ended up adding about 13,000 people to the area, which helped colonize other parts of Canada. One huge difference between the two is that the Klondike Gold Rush was way more dangerous and harder than the California Gold Rush. The Klondike Gold Rush had harder trails and way less food to eat. On top of that, the people had to use sled dogs and make tent cities. The mining areas of the Klondike Gold Rush were near rivers and mountains, while the California mining areas were near the Sierra Nevada mountains in the San Joaquin Valley. A way they are similar is the price per ounce of gold. The Klondike Gold Rush price per ounce of gold was $17 to $18, while the California Gold Rush was about $1 more. The Klondike Gold Rush and the California Gold Rush were big gold rushes that caused many large cities and towns to be made. The Klondike Gold Rush is a very important event because it supported the idea of living in a new area, such as Canada and Seattle.